How to reduce your Sunday night stress. I'm Chris. This is the Office Survival Guide, where I do videos not just to help you survive the office week, but to give you the skills you need to crush it. And are you one of those people that as the weekend begins to end, Sunday evening comes on, Monday morning is approaching, you get stressed out, you get anxious because of what's coming on Monday morning? Well, you are not alone. Research shows that over 76% of the population also gets Sunday night blues and Sunday night anxiety. So in this video, I'm going to give you 8 tips to help you deal with that Sunday night stress so that your weekend doesn't have to be so short and so stressful as Sunday night approaches. Tip number 1 is to realize that some level of stress and anxiety is normal. I just told you 76% of people have Sunday night anxiety. So what you need to do is you need to learn to recognize the thoughts and harness them for good, for productive things, instead of worrying about what is to come. And so many of these tips as we go forward are going to help you channel that energy into things that are productive, as opposed to channeling that energy into worrying, because worrying does you no good except make you more stressed. Tip number 2, think positive. The reason why we're often stressed out, we're nervous, is because we're worrying. We are worrying about things in the work week going poorly. Well, think differently. You can think positively, and you can think about how those things are going to go well instead of how they're going to go poorly. And most of the time, things actually do go well. And so if you channel your energy towards thinking about how things are going to go well, or the things that you're going to do that are going to make them go well, then you will put yourself in a much better frame of mind so that you're not worried about how it's going to go poorly. Tip number 3 is to keep your mind off work. You know, something that's even better than thinking about doing things positively, and certainly even better than thinking about doing things poorly, is to not think about work at all. If you don't think about work on the weekend, then you can't be stressed out about it, right? So do things on the weekend that take your mind off work. If you are sitting around on the weekend doing absolutely nothing, well, that's maybe why your mind will wander to work. So spend some time, get some exercise, go to a park, take a hot bath, go for a bike ride, go to Disneyland, do something fun and exciting, or just relaxing, but that takes your mind off work. Tip number 4, this one's a don't rather than a do, but don't check your email. Resist the urge to check your email over the weekend. A lot of people do this, and you know what? It stresses them out because they read things about things they need to do at work or problems that they need to solve, but when they read it on the weekend, there's really nothing they can do about it until they actually get to work anyway. So resist that urge to check your email. If you are one of those people that feels you need to get a bounce on the work week before it starts, and you don't like to start Monday morning surprised, my recommendation to you would be, instead of checking your email on Sunday night, would be to wake up early on Monday morning, wake up an extra hour early, check your email at home before you go into work. That way when you walk in the front door, you're caught up, but that doesn't give you then your entire night in bed to just think about all those things you're going to do on Monday morning that you can't do, and then it will prevent you from sleeping, and then your work week will just start completely awful. So don't check your email. And I know there's a lot of you right now that are thinking, but Chris, I have to check my email. There's important things. What if there's a crisis? What I would tell you is to tell people that need to get in touch with you in the event of a crisis to contact you in a different way than email. For example, have them call you, have them text you. For me, if I get a work call on the weekend, that's something I'm going to look at because those don't happen all that regularly. Work emails, on the other hand, I get a ton of those. So make sure if you do have urgent things you need to attend to, like the water breaks in your office and you're the plumber, sure, you need to respond to it, but make a mechanism that isn't diving into email to find those urgent things. Tip number 5, end the work week right. So one of the things that keeps people's minds on work is thinking about all the things they need to do when they get back into work on Monday. And that's because they didn't really do a good job planning the week ahead before they left the week prior. So my recommendation to you is on Fridays, spend some time to close out the week and prepare for the week ahead. If you can end the work week in such a way that you know mentally when you come back into work Monday morning, All you need to do is pick up from some to-do list or some checklist or some spreadsheet or your calendar to know exactly what you need to start doing, and it's exactly what you need to do, then you won't be thinking about it over the weekend. Your brain will be able to put those things away and compartmentalize them because it won't be worried, and it will know that it can get back to work and just pick them up again. So a great reference for this, there's a book called Getting Things Done by David Allen. He's got this whole great process where he talks about making lists and making different types of lists for things you need to do in the office, by a computer. It is a great way to organize what you need to do. Me personally, I live by my calendar. All my time is scheduled out on my calendar, and so I know when I leave the work week on Friday, I've gone through all of my email, so I have no backlog on email, and I've calendared out most of my week so that I know what I'm going to be spending my time on next week, and I don't have to worry on the weekend about, gee, what exactly do I need to do on Monday to prepare for that thing on Tuesday, because if there's something that's due on Tuesday, I've actually put time on my calendar on Monday to work on that thing that's due on Tuesday. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, Chris, you can do a calendar, you're special, you have a job where you don't have emergencies, you can plan everything out for the work week. Well, actually, I deal with emergent things too, and so in my calendar, I've got areas of time that are just for dealing with things that are come up. I've got areas of time that are just for checking email, so you can actually build into your schedule and your plan for dealing with unknown things. All right, tip number 6 is to get enough sleep. This is something that often causes people work stress, is they stay up too late, they're doing too many things, they didn't plan their Sunday all that well, and so now it's 2 in the morning, they've just gotten to bed, they know they need to get up at 6 in the morning, and so they're thinking to themselves, okay, I need to sleep quickly because I only have 4 hours left. And look, we've all done this, I've done this too, you know, and when I go to bed at a much more civilized hour, like 10 p.m., and I know I have 8 hours, I'm not as stressed about, gosh, I need to go to sleep now. And you know what? I fall asleep sooner when that's the case. So plan out your Sunday and plan out the first few hours before you go to bed to do things to help you relax, whether that's watch TV, take a bath, those things that I talked about, so that when you do hit the bed, you're not, you know, amped up because you just got out of a heavy metal concert, but you're relaxed, ready to go to bed, and ready to start the work week refreshed, as opposed to how a lot of us start the work week on Mondays, which is kind of like a zombie, you know? And talking about things going poorly, right? That's often why things go poorly on Monday, because we're tired, we're sleepy, and we're just like walking through on Monday like we're in a daze. Tip number 7, go on vacation. You know, if you're on vacation, you don't have to worry about going to work on Monday because you're not going to work on Monday. Let me tell you, when I am on vacation, I sleep like a baby. Why? Because I'm not stressed out. I'm not thinking about work. And when you do go on vacation, right, those rules that I talked about earlier, put the email away. Don't check your email. If you want people to get in touch with you, give them some other mechanism like send me a text, call me. Chances are most people, if you work for a good place, will really try not to bug you if you're on vacation because they actually want you to enjoy it. Why? Because when they're on vacation, they want to enjoy it, and so they don't want you to bug them. Tip number 8, it might be time to change jobs. None of these things worked for you. None of these tips work. You're still stressed out. You can't go to sleep on Sunday night. You have to take sleeping pills or anti-anxiety medication to sleep on Sunday nights. That's not normal. And so it could actually be something from your job. It is just too stressful. The relationship with your boss is too bad. And so it might be time to get out of there. Sometimes people feel they are stuck to their job. I will tell you, you aren't. And so in that case, if you are here, then it's time to watch my video right here on how to quit your job. Well, as usual, I won't say goodbye because I'm gonna see you right here in this video.